Welcome to Cripple Baldy, a podcast for the rest of us.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. We would like to welcome you to sit down, have a drink, smoke a smoke, toke a toke. Talking about the marijuanas, in case you didn't get that.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
When we swallow, we need to be very careful. Okay.
Leave that in.
Oh my God. I wasn't even thinking of it in terms of that. That works.
Welcome to the newest episode of Cripple and Baldy. Welcome.
So earlier, by earlier I mean 5 minutes ago, I was trying to take a shit, just had some coffee, and Baldy was fucking calling my phone, which was all the way not where I was, and it was disturbing my poop. So now I've just got like a turd in there wanting to come out, and we're just gonna sit here, talk with a poop needing to come out.
Also, I ate a lot of cheese yesterday, and as someone that is lactose intolerant, maybe I'm not lactose intolerant. I've never been formally diagnosed, but I felt like I needed to poop, but I haven't pooped. So that's my poop story for today.
That's sad.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about this terrible show. It's called Naked Attraction.
Yeah. I discovered this about a year ago, like before Baldy had come visit me, probably a month before, and I started watching it. And it's like amazing / the worst show that's ever existed.
Yeah.
It's a UK show, and the basis of it is basically people are looking for love, and they always make people sound really genuine. Like, yep, I came on this show to find love, which is fucking ridiculous. But so what it is it's basically 5 people. They all each have a color that's associated with the person. And you show their naked body before you like speak to them or anything. So it's basically like looks matter, and especially your naked looks. So it starts off by showing genitals first. Then it goes up to tits or chest, whatever. And then it goes to face. And you eliminate each person each round. So
And then the person doing the choosing gets naked. And then they get to listen to their voice.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the things. You get to listen to the person's voice
and
after
like,
you see the whole body.
Yeah.
To see if you like their voice.
And then they do this whole, like, fucked up thing where, like, the last 2 people are like, what do you wish that you had that they have? Like, talking about the other person.
It is so gross. Like, the whole show is, like, just commenting on how people look and if you like it or you don't. And people willingly go on this fucking show. Like, to just have their bodies fucking scrutinized.
Yeah, and it's just, like, the idea of it is just so fucked up. But I can't stop watching. And not just because there's nudes. Like...
But that is a huge component.
I know. And, like, the craziest thing about it seems like in reality television, like, in the UK, they use, like, real people.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, but at the same time, like, reality TV and TV in general, like, everyone is so different here. And I wonder if it's just, like, because we have more variety of, like we're more diverse, I would think. I don't have, like, statistics than the UK. So maybe it's just, like, the mixture of people is different, but is part of it. But, like, it's more like they have to look like they're not real people. Like, everyone has plastic surgery. Like, everyone is wearing a shit ton of makeup. And I mean, like... all of those videos are, like, severely edited. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's just what we've grown to expect as, like, a U.S. audience. And it's, like, so drastically different.
That's why, like, when the Office came to the U.S., because it was originally a show from England, they cast a bunch of normal-looking people. And I remember, like, being shocked when that show came out because I was like, why are they all ugly? They're not all ugly, though. They're just normal people.
That's
and,
interesting. That was your, like, reaction.
I'm just, like, not used to seeing that. Yeah. This was, like, how long ago did that show come out?
I literally
13
have
years?
no idea.
12 years. I don't know. But,
Damn.
yeah. Well, I don't know. They're normal looking people.
Yeah.
And it's like, in comparison to like super hot people, they are ugly. But ugly is bullshit and not real. Okay, let's just.
Okay. So.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like shocking because we're so used to seeing fake. Like, we're so used to seeing perfect looking people. So when you see someone normal, it's like, what? But in the UK, everybody's normal. Like TV shows, normal people.
Yeah. That's good though.
Oh
yeah, I love that show. My
love that show.
My Mad Fat Diary.
God. Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
And Fleabag, they have the best shows. You still haven't watched Fleabag. Okay, everybody listen. I keep telling everyone to fucking watch the show. No one's listening, and it sucks for them because you're losing out. It's called Fleabag. Phoebe Waller-Price, I think is her name. Or Phoebe Waller-Bridge Price? I don't fucking know. Whatever. Something. She's hilarious. You need to watch it.
I'm going to. Also, were we really stoned when we watched it when I was in Colorado?
Yeah, that was when you were like freaking out and being like, I'm.
Quit making fun of me. You're a bad person.
She was like freaking out, and then I just kept telling her to eat. I was like, eat more.
Worst, and the sad thing is I've smoked a lot of weed in my time, but I just went overboard because it had been so long. And I was just like, it's fine. It's legal here. And then I just, did not have a good time. And I just got really full. And I was like, I cannot physically eat anymore. Like I was just eating so much bread because Cripple is a vegetarian. So she just has all of her assets tied up in bagels.
That is
not
not true. You literally came to my house when I happened to have a bunch of bagels.
She had so many bagels.
And like literally since she came last year, she thinks that I only eat bagels.
Bagels and burritos.
Constantly have bagels. Like a plethora of bagels.
She
like
had
my house is
so
a bagel
many.
shop.
She has one of those fridges that has like a pull out, what are they called? Like a freezer. And there was bagels in there. So many different kinds. There was bagels in the fridge. Like there was just bagels everywhere. I wasn't even eating bagels. We were eating pizza. And I was just like, I physically cannot eat anymore. Like, and I am still freaking out. Luckily, I lived through it. So, anyways.
So like, what about you though? Would you ever go on a show like that?
I think maybe in my 20s I would have. I don't think I would now.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god, damn. You have a lot more confidence than I realized.
Well,
that's crazy.
I remember at some point in my 20s, I was just like really comfortable in my adult body. And I don't know when I came that, but I just remember that happening. So like if it was during that period of my life, then I'd be like cool. But
there is no way in fucking hell I would ever do that show. And I watched an episode where there was a guy in a wheelchair on it, and I was like, UK. I was like, fuck yeah. They're like a lot more, I feel like the UK or England specifically, like they're a lot more, what is the word I'm looking for? They have more shit on disability, and they're more inclusive of disabilities. Like, for example, as we talked about the UK show, I don't know if I already talked about this on the podcast, but whatever. I always repeat myself, so you're welcome.
yes!
But the UK version of The Office, in the original one, it had a cast member that used a wheelchair. She was a permanent cast member, just one of the people that worked in the office. She had osteogenesis imperfecta, which is what I have. And when they brought the office to the U.S., they said they tried to make it as close to the office in the UK as they possibly could. And I remember when I heard that, I got so angry because that was before I knew that they had a cast member that was disabled on the show. And I was like, wow, of course. They tried to make it just like The Office in the UK, except they didn't cast a disabled person. Or they didn't even cast a disabled character. I mean, there wasn't, like, in that show. So I don't know if they've had people who are with disabilities on the show, like, as, like, random characters. But I know that they didn't have a main cast member. Because I don't really watch that show, honestly. But I did contact her. I emailed her, like, when I found out about it. Because this was like 10 years ago. Did I talk about this already?
I don't think so.
On the podcast? I know I've told you, but. So I emailed this woman. And because I got so excited that, like, an actress with a disability was, like, a permanent, like, character on a fucking really successful show. I was like, that's amazing. And I emailed her and I was like, I just want to let you know I'm a singer and I, like, have, like, dreams. I did. Those are dead. And I was like, you inspire me, but in a way that's not condescending.
Did you clarify
and, like,
in the email?
Yeah, I did. I was like, I know that's a trigger word, and she responded back to me and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. And she's like, I wish you all, like, the luck in singing. And she's like, if you're ever in the UK, like, here's my phone number. And I was like, what?
Did she really give you her phone number?
Yeah, she gave me her phone number.
You've been to the UK since that happened.
I know. I know.
Why didn't you hang out with her?
I don't, because I'm a little bitch. I don't know. Like, I think
my God.
I know.
I
I
cannot
now.
with you. I literally cannot.
I know. And I think I would now, like, as the person I am now. But before, I had a lot of, like, self-worth issues. And, like, people say a lot of things and they don't mean them. Mm-hmm. So I kind of take most stuff like that where I'm like, oh, they don't really want to, like, hang out or whatever. But now I'm more like, I don't care because I want to do that. And so I try to be more, like, selfish.
I mean, that's, like, so crazy that she would give you her fucking phone number and you wouldn't do that.
I thought it was crazy, too. I was like, what? She gave me her phone number? Like, I was like, yeah, so.
Oh, my God. Is she a wheelchair user as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen the UK version. There's a guy on there that I hate.
Which one?
I don't remember. I don't know his name. Every time I see his face, I'm just like, ugh, I can't watch this.
Oh, but also I would just like to give a shout out to Ricky Gervais because he includes disabled people in, like, all of the work he makes. He always does. He makes jokes. Like, he did a thing, I don't remember what he was hosting something, and he made, like, a bunch of, like, he made this, like, video of him being, like, really condescending and rude to a disabled person. In like a way where disabled people would get it and be like, oh my God, like, yeah, people always do that. So he knows disabled people. Like, he's a familiar. I fucking love Ricky Gervais. He's hilarious. He is a lover of the disabled, or he, like, is a knower of us. I don't know.
I just love the way that you're describing
animals.
this.
I love him. He's fucking great. Hit it or quit it. Hit it. Hit it. What?
That might be the guy whose face I don't like.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais. He's the main guy.
I don't know.
He's got, like, kind of famous in the U.S., I feel like.
That might be him.
But
maybe I'll give him a second chance.
So I wanted to talk more about this naked attraction. So there was, like, they'll do men and women who, like, and anybody. Like, it's a show that's like, you got a body, put it on the show naked. You know, that's the kind of show it is. So this guy, the first person we watched, his name was Chris Lewis, or is that Louise?
No, it was Chris. They only go by first names. Louise was the next person.
Oh,
derp, derp.
Okay. I was high when I was writing these notes, so. So this guy was like I would call him like a Guido, but he was British, like that type though, like very into how he looks, like gym tan laundry, you know?
Yeah, he was a total bro.
Yeah, he was like a partier. He slicked his hair back all nice and like, he was like saying that he wants to settle down. He seems so genuine because that's always how they try to make it. He's like,
I think a part of him was genuine, but I think that like he just couldn't help himself.
yeah. He was like, yeah, maybe a part of him was genuine, but nobody really thinks they're gonna find love on this show. Like, do they?
I don't know, man.
Come on. But so the woman asked, she's like, well, what are you excited about the show? And he said, well, you know, sometimes like you might be going on like dates with a girl for like 3 weeks, and then you see her body and like you're disappointed. So it's like good to just like get that done with before you have any issues. That's what he fucking said.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had that. You know what I mean? Like where like I've dated someone and then I see them naked for the first time and I'm like, not into it.
That's because nobody really has great bodies.
Bodies are just weird.
Sometimes they do, but like usually not.
I think they only look great when you only look at certain parts of them. You know what I mean? Because like
What
if
do
you
you
look at
mean?
like someone that is completely nude, like they look like an alien. I don't know, like they're like they need fur or something. I don't know.
That was the other thing on that show was I would definitely say he was like a fucking douchebag. Like he's the kind of guy that I'd see that I'd be like, I don't know, was he good looking?
He was like well groomed. He wasn't like ugly, but
Yeah.
he wasn't like he was kind of plain. But he was well groomed, which made him like a little
Right.
bit more than plain, you know?
I feel like that too. I think he's like a generic looking white guy, but he's like fit, so I feel like it'd be easy for him to get laid.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
He's like one of those kind of guys. Because if you're a generic white man with a hot body, it is easy for you to get laid. Doesn't mean you're cute. Everybody just likes white people for some reason, as long as they're not disabled.
Which is
Okay,
weird.
so what?
Which is weird because like on white people you can see their veins and stuff. Ugh.
For clarification, we are of the white persuasion as well as the ethnic. Okay, thank you. It means we can talk shit about whoever the fuck we want. So this guy seemed like the most shallow person ever. Like he just seemed like a shallow douchebag. But the thing that shocked me about this whole thing was that that guy was so fucking excited.
He was really excited.
He was.
He was so excited.
Like I've never seen someone on that show be like, oh my god, there's 5 vaginas like right in front of my face and like they're all amazing. Like he was so like it didn't matter like the size shape of like
He was.
yeah, he just likes women. Like that was the vibe that I got, and I was thinking, oh, he's gonna get rid of the fat girl first, because I've watched enough of these shows to know that that's what they do. Usually they get rid of the fat person first. He didn't. He got rid of her, I think, the 3rd round. And when he
she
saw
was one
those
of the
Tigo
last 3.
biddies,
I think she lasted more than that because
she was the last 3.
Yeah.
So 2 people got removed before her. And when he saw those Tigo biddies, he was just like, oh my god.
he's like, I just
could
want to
just like
lay my
what did
head
he
on
say?
them.
He said he wanted to like snuggle in them. He's like, I could get lost in those bad boys. but the thing is, like, at the end, he chose the girl with the like prettiest face, like the most agreeably attractive face.
The thing about
And
that
the
that
most,
bothered
like,
me.
and she was thin.
I
What?
said the thing about that bothered me. She was like barely more than a teenager. She was like 20.
Yeah, she was 20.
She looked like one of those toddlers in tiaras. You know what I mean?
I mean, she was a woman. Like, she was curvy. She had like a body.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you just like look at her, she was very tiny. Like, she looked like a little girl that was dressed up. Maybe not when she was naked, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, but
Like, it
Yeah,
it bothered me. I was like, dude, like, you were like twice her age.
he's 27.
I don't know how the fuck old he was, but
He was 27. He was a rough 27.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
When I saw that guy, I was like, 27.
more like 34.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but he was like a club bouncer for like, or a rep or something for a long time.
yeah.
And
a lot
that
of drugs.
will wear on you.
Oh, fuck yeah. But I feel like him choosing the hottest girl, the most like agreeably attractive girl, I feel like that represents like how guys are in general, which is that they want to fuck all of them. but they choose the girl who's like everybody else will like agree that she's enough, you know? So like they have like a trophy. I don't know. What do you think of that? Your analysis of this?
I mean, I definitely agree with that, but like all the things that he was saying about like what he was looking for and why he was like even on that show, I'm just like, dude, like that bitch is gonna eat you alive. Like you're like, I want something more, but I want to go over after this like young ass like hottie who like is just like trying to live their life. They're not ready to settle down. You know what I mean? You're just going after all of the people. Like it's like the same kind of person that you would meet in the club. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, clearly you haven't learned anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's like, well, I want someone that likes to go out and do stuff, but I also want someone that like can just like chill and like, you know, whatever. And like in the show they go on a date and then they meet up with them like a few weeks later just to ask how things are going, and like she seemed very high maintenance. You know what I mean?
Girls like that are because they feel like they're superior than other girls, and that's what they're taught. So it's like, I don't know, like yeah, what I saw from when they got back together or whatever, when they had them meet up again and talk, they were so fucking into each other. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, oh my God. I don't know if it was like, I think it was more physical attraction type of thing.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, but they both were like you know.
Yeah. But I mean, how long does that last? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But guys are dumb.
This is true.
So it's like, that's why it's ridiculous. That's why I thought it was funny how he was into all of it, but he chose the one that he thought that he would get the most, like I think his own value would like increase, because that's what men are taught, is that like women are like these trophies. And you need to have one that has value, and the only way that a woman has value is based on her attractiveness, and the only way that she can be attractive is if she's agreeably attractive in societal standards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, I would like to mention that the host is fucking great.
Oh my God. She is so ridiculous. Also, I love all of her blouses.
Oh, yeah. I know, it's like red. She like is always wearing red.
Yeah,
too.
because love. Duh.
Oh, love. She's probably like in her 40s, like good looking, like a British woman, comedian, I would assume. And she always just kind of says the most ridiculous fucking shit. And I can't tell if like she wants to fuck the dudes on the show, and she does. I feel like she does.
She has to.
I get the vibe. Yeah, I get the vibe that woman just like looks at the naked dudes and she's like, I want that one. She fucking, when we were watching the one with Chris, the girl that was the one he ended up picking after she saw his naked body, she says, the host is like, so what do you think of that peen? And the girl was like, she was like, hopefully it's a grower. And then the host said, it looks pretty good to me, just how it is now.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Oh my God. She's a thirsty bitch. It's great. I love it.
So for each episode, they do like 2 people, right?
Yeah.
So the next one was this chick named Louise. And she was a total nerd. Like, you could tell.
Yeah.
Like, and
nerd with a hot body. That's immediately what I thought. That's why those people go on those shows. They're like, oh yeah, I'm nerdy, or like my face isn't that great, and then you see their body is, and then you're like, damn, and they're like, I know.
Nerds with hot bodies. Man, I was not blessed.
Yeah. Same.
Anyways, but so like the first round when they're showing all the guys like genitals, she was like freaking out, and like the host, like, I don't remember what she said verbatim, but she was just like, yeah, she's like, well, you can only you gotta get rid of one. And then she actually had them like measure their junk, and she was like explaining.
Yes!
She was like, here's the thing. She was like, this is the average in the UK, which is like 3.5 inches.
3.5.
Yeah. And when they are...
No, 3.6 is average. Yeah.
Whatever. But then they grow by a third.
Yeah.
And so she like had these dudes like go up and like measure their dicks. And like I was just like, I cannot deal with this right now. And like the chick Louise, she was just like so nervous. And she's like, well, I don't know. Like the smaller ones are quite nice. And I'm like, damn bitch, you are missing out if you are scared of dicks.
Oh, she wasn't afraid. She was just trying to be bashful.
Do what?
I said, I think she wasn't afraid. I think she was just trying to be cute. Girls do that all the time. It's annoying.
I mean, but like, she ended up with a dude that had like one of the smallest dicks.
Did she? Oh, that guy was gross too. Ugh.
He was like dumb.
He was, ugh. Yeah, but she, oh, you know what she said? I thought it was really funny. After it showed them on a date, and she says to him, so what did you think when I came out naked? Which is like a weird fucking question to ask somebody. What did you think when you saw me naked? And then he said, I liked it.
I thought it was quite nice.
Yeah. And then she was like, and then they both laughed. And I was like, wow.
Dude, but there was this short dude that had a huge dick.
Which one? I don't remember. Oh, she got rid of him first, right?
Yeah, she was scared of his
and
dick.
And the host was like, what a waste.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was doing.
She is so great. I fucking love her. And then he said something like after he had gotten voted off, because she like complimented his dick a bunch. The host was like, all right. He said something about like how she can call me. He's like, well, she complimented my penis a lot, so she wants to see it up close. And she probably did. You know that host is getting it in.
The host is hoeing.
She fucking is, though.
Yeah, dude.
So also they like give you like statistics on that show, which I think is cool. Because it's educational. UK has cool fucking shows, man.
US needs to get caught the fuck up.
Seriously. Actually, yeah, anyways. But like, so they had one statistic where it said 2/3 of women say that older men are better lovers. And they believe that this is true, or studies suggest that this may be true because they're more secure and experienced. And, or it takes them longer to get aroused, so then they'll lick that clit.
Oh my God. And then they have like these little animations that go along with when they're doing the educational stuff. And I was just like, I cannot. Also, while I was watching this, after my kid was asleep, my kid came out to use the bathroom. And the bathroom, like, you can totally see the TV in the living room. And I was like, oh God. Because, like, it just had, like, they will do close-ups so the audience can see the nakedness. And I was, like, freaking out. And they were, like, you know, they were asleep, so they're, like, half awake. And I was like, ah. And I was trying to, like, you know, pause it or whatever. But I ended up just turning it off. But, like, can you imagine how awkward that would have been?
I mean, it's just naked people.
I mean, like, but it's a kid. First of all, like, they'd be like, ooh, naked. And then, like, second of all, they'd be like, why are you watching this? You know what I mean? How do you answer that?
What do you mean? You're just watching it because you want to stare at naked people. That's what you say.
Ugh.
Also, they had another statistic that said 1/3 of women say funny is better than good looks. Being funny is better than having good looks.
That's what the people that they were like quizzing or surveying said. But like in actuality, do you think most people would value like whether or not someone's funny over their looks?
I think that women are more likely to do that for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Men. I definitely can see that because it took me a long time, but I definitely value that over looks for sure now.
Yeah.
It's more fun to be around someone that is fun. So, yeah. Who cares? Like, because good looks are like
fleeting.
You're just there. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because I have like hooked up with some hot dummies. And like, they're dumb. And I'm just like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Go away. You ever try to break up with someone that's stupid? Like, it's really hard sometimes. Like, they don't get it.
What do you mean? Why? What happened?
Like, I met this guy online one time, and he was like a lot, you know? He was older than me, and I was just like, you are just like exhausting. You are too much for me. Like, I cannot deal with it. And I tried to ghost him. I tried, and it didn't work.
And this was before ghosting was a thing, mind you. You were inventing it.
Trendsetter. But I'm just like, why is this guy not getting the hint? Like, you're old enough to like understand.
And like they don't understand. They're only used to people wanting them, so they're like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, I guess it's good. And the one time in high school, this guy was just like too dumb, and I was like, I cannot. Like, this is no. Like, it was fun, but like,
what?
Yeah.
Oh, someone that I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just like, no, we got to do it. And like, he didn't get it. And I was just like, we're not getting back together. Like, I need you to not be my boyfriend.
I can see, like, you're kind of evasive. Like, I mean, you are evasive in general. Mm-hmm. So I can see people getting confused because I feel like you don't like confrontation. So you're probably like, they're like, so what's going on with us? And you're like, I have to go right now.
No. I was like, I can't be in a relationship right now. I've got too much going on.
Uh-huh.
And like, he didn't like that answer. So, fun fact, when MySpace became a thing, he found me and was very proud to tell me that he got his nipples pierced, and like he had like a tribal like band on tattoo on his arm.
Tribal bands are fucking cool though. 90s as fuck.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I knocked up my girlfriend. And I'm like, cool. Why are you telling me? I don't care. We don't even live in the same state anymore. But you know what? Good for him.
Yeah, good for that guy.
Moving on. Also, so when we were watching Naked Attraction, there was a chick on there. I just saw like a clip or something, and she had a vajazzle. Do you guys know what that is? Do you know what it is?
Oh, I'm like, why are you guys, what, my cat and dog? Probably because I have one and they see it. That sounded gross. Okay. Yes, I know what it is. Continue.
Okay. I had never seen one until then. I had heard of it, but I was just like, how does it stay on? And so I looked it up, of course, because I am an intellectual. So you have to like wax before you do it, which I guess makes perfect fucking sense. But of course, my dumb ass, I'm just like, what do you mean? Why? So you have to pay for that on top of them like bejeweling your shit. And it only stays on for like 2 to 5 days. I was like, that is such a waste.
It is.
They're just like, yeah, you just like use like sticky like stuff. Like,
you can just go buy some sticky stuff. Use super glue. You're welcome. Life hack.
Can you imagine getting super glue on your vagina? One time, I was trimming my pubes and I cut a chunk out of my labia.
Oh my, what?
It was horrible.
That is horrible.
Horrible. And then I went to the gynecologist for the first time the next day. And I was like, will you look at it? And they're like, what? And I was like, I cut a chunk out of my labia. And so the very uncomfortable medical person looked at it and was like, well, it doesn't look infected or anything, so just keep on doing what you're doing.
What do you mean very uncomfortable? They look at vaginas all day.
You know, I don't think she was a gynecologist. I believe it was just like a nurse practitioner.
Oh, okay.
And like, she was just like, what do you mean you've cut a chunk out of your labia? So since then, I have like a little scar tissue right there.
Yeah, this is exactly why I let my bush grow free and happy. So
I just got smaller scissors.
keeping myself safe, you know.
I mean, like, it's important to have pubic hair, but like there's a point where it's just like too long for me, and I'm just like, you know what? I need to clean this up.
The thing is, though, like, people have like bikini like area where it's like full of hairs coming out, and I guess like people have crazy bushes.
Yeah.
And like when it comes to that, I guess I get it, but like I don't have like a crazy bush like that. Like, it's just on my like vag region, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't spread out.
That's good.
So
Yeah, it wasn't until I started waitressing that I stopped shaving, because, you know, you have to wear polyester pants and your legs are going like this, you know, you got that chub rub going on, my thick thigh bitches, like, and I just got like this horrible, like, ingrown hair, and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And it was painful and it was fucking gross. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to let it grow for protection. And since then, I've been a trimmer, not a shaver.
good. I think it's horrible. I remember being a teenager and everybody would make fun of me for not shaving my vagina, and also for not wearing thongs and wearing normal underpants. And now that we're in our 30s, everybody jumped on the fucking bandwagon. Wagon?
The vag wagon.
The vag wagon.
The pussy wagon.
Yes. Ooh.
Pussy wagon!
Also, on that show, they were talking about noses and how like men have like their noses are like a third bigger or something.
Interesting.
But the reason why they have bigger noses than women is because they need more oxygen. So I'm just thinking, like, I just must like need a lot of oxygen.
Yeah, dude, you're a singer.
Maybe that's why my nose has developed for my gift of song.
Nicely put. Nicely put. I have like a little,
except that
little wide
like
nose.
I feel like there's a lot of singers with small noses,
Really?
so I don't. Yeah, I mean, it varies. When it comes to singing, there's no like certain anatomy that you need to like have a pretty tone. Like, it's kind of just random. You know, they haven't like figured out like what makes someone a good singer. But actually, there is something with muscles, or I don't know. It doesn't. This is probably boring for people. Anyways, okay. So,
Moving on. So, have you ever been nerd shamed, Cripple?
do I look like a fucking nerd,
Yes,
bitch?
Why do you think I asked you that question?
No, because I'm not a nerd. So, have you?
No, although I do feel like people are always surprised when I'm as nerdy as I am. I don't know why.
Yeah. You read comic books. I had known you for a good 10 years before I fucking found that out.
Yeah. Comic books, mangas, watch anime.
What do you mean mangoes? That's not nerdy. That's just a fruit.
Not mangoes. Manga.
What, the candy?
Are you really asking me this?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Okay, so they're like books of like Japanese comics.
Oh.
That's what they're called.
I thought you were talking about those like chewy, fruity candies. All right. So we've established the nerd here in this relationship.
Yeah, but what's funny to me is like my boyfriend, he went to school for computer science, and he plays video games, and he works as a developer, and he's quiet and he wears glasses. And
he's fat.
and for whatever reason, like, he gets all bent out of shape when people are like, you like sports? And he's like, yeah, because he's an avid football fan. Like, of course, we live in the South, so, you know, college football is king for whatever reason.
Still, if you saw what he looked like, you would also be shocked.
And I was, and one time we went on a date to, what is it called? It's like a murder mystery dinner. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Like, is that
Like
what it's called?
Murder mystery. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
Anyways, it's like a murder mystery dinner. And like the people that they planned it on our table like lost their shit when like he didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And I think they were talking about like Lord of the Rings or something. I don't remember the conversation. He's like, I've never seen the movies. I've never read the books. And I was like, yeah, he's like a fake nerd. And they like lost their shit. And like, so they started like asking him like every like nerdy thing if he was into it. And he's like, no. And they, but like this has happened on numerous occasions. And I'm like, I like those things. But people don't really care. They're more like shocked that this nerd before them is not truly a nerd. And he gets all mad. He's like, why do people assume that I'm a nerd? And I'm like, dude, you're quiet. You went to school for computer science. You work as a developer. You're an avid gamer. And you wear glasses.
He also dresses bad.
And you wear glasses. I was like, if that is not like a stereotype for a nerd, then I don't know what it is.
If he changed his style, cut his hair differently, he could still wear the glasses because you can still be cool with glasses. He wouldn't be seen as a nerd. Like, that's why.
Yeah, he does kind of dress like
that.
a nerd.
People are shallow and they just look at your outsides. So,
yeah.
Like, people used to think I was a straight A student in high school because I'm disabled. And I was like, I'm an F student. And, like, then they wouldn't want to be my partner in science anymore.
I was actually your partner in science.
You were not okay, this, honestly, you bringing this up makes me angry. Because this is what happened. Okay? So first, David was my partner because he thought I was an A student. And then when he found out I'm an F student, he's like, I don't want to be your partner anymore. Gross crippled. And I was like, okay.
Wasn't David cute?
And then I went up. What?
Wasn't David cute?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I don't remember what he looked like, but I remember
he was like the popular like cute guy. Like in 8th grade or 7th grade or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, you want to be partners? Cool. And then he was like, no, I don't. Like, he was so shocked. I remember him like saying to me, don't you have an A in this class? And I was like, no, I'm failing. And he was like, what? Like, his mind was blown. And I was like, you've never even spoken to me. Like, and you're just like looking at me thinking, oh, she's a cripple. All she does is like study all the time.
Probably because you were quiet and you wore glasses more so than the fact that you're disabled.
Yeah, you're right. And I was fat. Yeah, disabled. And I dressed bad. Yes, you're right. It's the same problem that Ed has now. But the thing is, I learned how to like change my style to fit my personality. Yeah. Which is a badass bitch. Am I right?
Yeah, except for right now.
But I remember him being like so shocked. Anyways, so then I lost him as a partner. And then I said to you, and we were starting to become friends. Mm-hmm. This is where we met in science class and drama. And I said, hey, do you want to be my partner? I just like lost David. And then you were like, yeah, sure. So then what happened was, I guess Veronica, was that her name? Or Victoria, what the fuck was her name? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So this other girl in our class had, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? And you're like, oh, yeah, I told her also. And I was like, I asked you first. And you were like, I don't know, maybe we can all three be partners. And I was like, I don't think so. I think it's a two-partner thing. And then what ended up happening was we all got together in the library. And mind you, I hated this girl. She was like, okay, she was one of those skater people. They thought she was super cool. Like, she'd just laugh at people because they were wearing, like, purple. Like, she'd, like, be like, the guy's got a purple shirt. Nerd! Like, that was who she was.
You know what's really funny? Go on. I don't want to interrupt
Go ahead.
you.
Yeah. What?
One time she came up to, like,
ask
me
Baldy
where I
to
was
be her
sitting,
partner too,
and she's
and
like,
then Baldy
don't you
said
think,
yes.
like, all dudes should be, like, skaters or punks? And I was just like...
What?
And I was like, what? I was like, I feel like people should just, like, be who they are, because if everyone was the same, it would be boring. And she was like, what? Like,
I thought you were cool.
and, like, one of the girls that I was sitting with, like, when she walked away, she just, like, stared at me stunned. She was just like, I think I love you.
Really?
Huh?
Who? You don't remember? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This was like middle school. I'm like 30 now. Like, but I was
That's
just like,
so
what? I was like, doesn't everyone feel that way? Like, but I don't know. She was just like really shocked.
That girl is so dumb, though. Like, that's my point. Like, you saying that she went up to you and said that, I'm like, yeah, exactly. She was so dumb. And the other thing that I thought was ridiculous about her, she had huge tits, right? She was like 14, like triple D, like huge tits. And like, she had gotten this boyfriend that was like, I think he was like 18 or 17 or something. He was a lot older than her at the time. It was like, whoa. And he was fucking racist as fuck. And she was half Mexican. Okay? This kid was a fucking skinhead. Do you remember this?
No.
I remember her talking about it all the time. She was like, and then she would randomly, like literally, I barely knew her. I don't know why people come over to me and say things to me. And then they think I'm like going to be shocked. I think it's because the nerd aesthetic, like you said, like chubby cripple girl with glasses and horrible clothing. Like they're like, I'm going to talk about a penis. And then she's going to like freak out, you know, which never happened. But like she came over and would be like randomly, like as she passed by me in class or something, she'd be like, oh my God, your shirt's so white. That's like the color of my boyfriend's dick. And I would be like, that's not good. Like he needs to see a doctor. That's like, something's wrong. But like, yeah, I hated her. And so what ended up happening was I got an F on that. And I think she did the project for you, or what happened?
I honestly have no fucking idea.
Okay, you don't remember it. Okay. Do you think anyone's going to care about our middle school?
No, I don't think anyone is. Well, I will say, okay, so my kid is in band, and they do a lot of band. So they have the band class. They're in like a special band. They were doing like a pep band. And so they just play a lot of music. For Halloween, they the special ensemble for like the gifted music kids was playing like Halloween music in the lunchroom for the different grades. So they invited us. And so we went to the middle school.
The way that
mind
you said gifted music kids, though, I'm like, you mean people who are like in the advanced band or something?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not. I'm like, okay, continue.
Quit judging. So. It's not like it's not a music conservatory school. It is just a regular public middle school.
No, I know, but the way you said that was like they're gifted. I was like, no, they just have been playing longer. But yeah, okay, go ahead.
Anyways, so we go to the school. We are the only family that has come to see the band kids in their special Halloween performance, and it's in the lunchroom. Okay. And I, was standing kind of near the band and talking to the kid. And then when they're getting ready to play, like I decided to walk like to like where the other like faculty were standing, right? And this group of girls, middle school girls, starts following me, like in a line. Because I'm walking, like, the faculty members were standing, like, outside of, like, the lunchroom. And I guess they thought I was walking to get my lunch. And, like, I stopped abruptly. And they, like, looked at me, like, weird and kept on. And I was like, did these girls think I was in middle school? I mean, like, I'm short. They were taller than
hilarious.
Me. But I was just like, what the fuck? This is a new low, guys. New low for me.
Okay, that's hilarious, but also you should feel glad because, like, you're youthful.
I mean, like, I was wearing a ridiculous coat. It was pink with a navy cheetah print on it, and I'm really short, so of course I look like I was in the middle school. You know?
Yeah, especially from behind.
I don't know how to take that comment.
You're short.
You saying I have a middle school ass? Because that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, you do.
So have you guys heard about this water park freak accident that happened a couple years back? I think it was like in 2012. It was like the world's tallest roller coaster.
Dude, I hadn't heard about this.
Really? I feel like I had heard about it like in passing. I don't know what the fuck I was doing in my life in 2012. I mean, I was in college, but... I
was being depressed, crying, wondering why I was treated like shit. Still the same. Only I'm more confident. So.
Pretty sure you were in college too.
Worthlessness. Continue.
But anyway, so this kid, okay, so I guess like these people wanted to create like the world's tallest water slide. And they consulted all of these people, like physicists and engineers and mathematicians, and everyone was like, this is a bad idea.
Well, no, they I don't know. They were talking about how they talked to all those people and they were telling them what you need to do mathematically to make it work or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the guys were saying all of that has been wrong. They've all been wrong. And they were showing like videos of them when they were like building it and how like the fucking slidey thing was, what are those called? The inner tube or whatever it was. They were fucking sliding off. Like falling, like sliding off and falling.
Yeah.
So they put like a cage on top of it, I think, to prevent that from happening, and that was their fix. And even on the day of when it was supposed to be released, they like had to shut it down like 3 times or something because they were having like problems. And it's a water slide, so like it's not electrical. You know what I mean? It's like if you're having problems, like what are you gonna do to fix that in a day? Like there's not some sort of mechanical. I don't know, but I think what happened was that kid I think his head got caught on the cage or whatever because it didn't really say,
but he was decapitated.
Yes, he was fucking decapitated.
Can you imagine like how horrific that is?
I mean, I would literally like the thought of getting decapitated is the worst fucking thing ever. Like, could you imagine that's your death? You're 10 years old, you're having a good time going on a slide. You know how many times I've been on a ride where I was like, this was a horrible idea. I want to leave now. And he was probably feeling that way. And then he got decapitated.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's horrible. I don't know. I think it's so interesting that like some people feel safer on water slides than on a roller coaster because like I feel like in a roller coaster, at least like you're in a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you're
strapped
to something.
In. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But like in a water slide, you're not.
It's unpredictable.
It is. Like I went to this place in Kentucky and there were a couple of times where I was just like, we're going to fly out of this fucking thing. We are going to like, yeah. I don't know. It just felt unsafe. I mean, I had a good time. I'm glad I went. But like I did recognize like how unsafe it was after like I was already on the ride and I was like, no. But like the kids were like, oh yeah, no, this is great. Like fuck a roller coaster.
Where did you say it was? Where was it?
In Kentucky.
So this water park was called Schlitterbahn Water Park, and the water slide that he got murdered on or whatever had a freak accident on. It was called, oh fuck, I don't see it now.
Verrückt.
It was called, yeah, Verrückt. German. If only we knew a German. Verrückt.
Is it German?
That's totally German.
Oh, I don't know. Why is it everything in German? Like it's in Kansas.
Come on. There's nothing more fucking German than that.
Are there a lot of Germans in Kansas?
I don't fucking know. Let us know in the comments below if you live in Kansas City. Is Kansas City in Kansas? I know that's a dumb question.
I have no idea. I feel like there's like Kansas City, Missouri, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, I feel like it's not in Kansas. Wait. We have our bachelor's degrees.
Yeah, we are very educated.
Kansas City State. I'm looking it up.
No,
also,
it was in Kansas. It was in Kansas.
It's in Missouri.
What?
It's in Missouri. That's what it says. Wait, Missouri. Kansas City is what it's called.
No. It says. No.
It's called Kansas City.
Yeah.
Where is Kansas City?
No, it was in Wyandotte County, Kansas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's in Missouri. It says it's in Missouri.
Really?
Oh my god. Let us know.
We're so confused.
Okay, we're from the West Coast. All right. Give us a break.
Yeah, the best coast.
Yeah, it's not though. Do they say that? The best coast?
Yeah.
Ugh, disgusting. That sounds like some douchebag bro that would say something like that. Probably one of your buds from San Diego.
There you go.
Also 619, but
What about that 858? They split up the what is it, the area code? You remember that?
the thing that I think is weird, like, about that whole, like, San Diego Pride in, like, having, like, your area code tattooed on you or whatever is I've met so many people who literally haven't been anywhere else. Like, they've been to California and that's it. They've been to Los Angeles and San Diego and they're like, San Diego's the best place in the world. And I'm like, you literally have been to Tijuana and that's it. Like,
And I mean, like, let's be real. Tijuana, it's Baja California. Like,
it's not as good as San Diego for sure.
yeah, but I mean, like, you know, it's like the same place, kind of.
I literally went to Tijuana.
It's Tijuana.
I went to Tijuana.
There's no A.
And
it's Tijuana. Not Tijuana.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
I lived there. I know.
Whatever. So I went to Tijuana.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. And I remember being scarred for life because I had just learned about, like, birds being poisoned in, like, the 40s or something in school. And, like, I saw these fucking hummingbirds on keychains being sold, dead hummingbirds, and their beaks were all curled, which means they'd been poisoned. They're poisoning hummingbirds and selling them to fucking American tourists. I was horrified.
That is horrifying. I never saw that in my time there.
Well, thank God. I also saw a very, like, diseased looking cat and I really wanted to touch it. And then I did. And then I told my friend's dad and he was like, you shouldn't have touched that. And then my friend was all like, oh, don't touch me. You have diseases. And I'm used to that reaction in general, just like in my life. But this time I got nervous because, but it was just the same bullshit. He looked weird. So people were like, don't touch it. Oh, he had some pus coming out of his butthole. Big deal. Who doesn't? You know? Like,
oh my God. That sounds like the grossest cat ever. Poor thing. Poor thing.
Watch, I do have some sort of, like, disease that I didn't know.
Dude, when I
I should tell people that I touched a cat in Tijuana.
Oh my God. Okay, speaking of, like, crazy diseases you can get from animals, when I was in the hospital a couple years back, they couldn't figure out, like, what happened to me, but I got, like, a heart infection or whatever. And so, like, they ran all these tests on me, and the only thing that they could tell me was that at some point I picked up, like, a bacteria from birds or, like, a virus or something, but they couldn't tell me when or what it was.
That's so fucking creepy.
I know.
Maybe I gave it to you because of the cat.
Oh my
and
God.
I was immune and you weren't. I'm so sorry.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. You don't think about the stuff that, like, animals can give you because you just want them to be cute and loving and they're gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like humans.
Yeah, that's true. Everything's gross.
Also, didn't you have a story? Didn't you say you, like, knew somebody who was decapitated or something?
No. Okay, so, like, back in the day, I went through this phase where I was dropping a lot of acid. And the thing about when you drop acid is, like, you can't sleep on it. At least I've never been able to sleep on it. So I stayed up all night on acid, had to go into work the next day, still tripping on acid. And I was just, like, really out of it. And I was just, like, convinced. I was like, everyone can tell that I am not in my right mind right now. And I felt like everyone was, like, mad at me. And I don't know if they were or if I was just, you know, on drugs. But they asked me if I wanted to work a double, and of course I was like, sure. I mean, the second shift was, like, very, very slow. And I remember there was a wreck, and there was a guy on a motorcycle and a semi. And it looked like, so, like, the semi was trying to turn in front of, like, where I worked, and I guess the motorcyclist didn't stop in time, and I saw, like, the turned semi, but it was kind of like angled to where you couldn't see the motorcyclist. And I was like, oh my God. Like, are they okay? Like, hopefully they stopped in time. And it looked like they had like taken off their helmet. It had like rolled out a little bit where you could see it. And
oh my God.
So I didn't think anything of it, and I went back to work. And then, of course, like, I crashed hard when I went home because I had stayed up all night and then worked a double and whatever. So the next day, there was, like, a little newspaper stand in front of where I worked, and one of the articles in that newspaper was, like, how that guy had been decapitated. And I was like, that guy did not take off his helmet. His head was still in the helmet when I saw it.
That's
on the ground.
Crazy. What?
But he had like a full, you know, like how motorcycle helmets, you can either have like a half one or like a full head one.
Uh-huh.
It was a full head one. And I was just like, wow, I'm so glad that I did not, I guess, pay enough attention, because how crazy is that?
I saw a guy like hunched over like probably a year ago or something in his car. Like he had just gotten into a crash. And I think he was dead.
That's terrifying.
I
don't know.
We see dead animals all the time. I mean, like, it's not, I feel like we're just really shunned. And especially in the US with like dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we should be more familiar with them. And I don't mean like, let's like snuggle up with dead bodies. I just mean like people act so like afraid of death that it like is unhealthy, I feel like. And it's like things die. Not like trying to say like I'm like down. I don't like dead things. Okay. I really don't. But I don't know. I feel like it's a weird reaction that we have because you just see dead things. Like that's just how it works.
Yeah.
You know? And we're so like, oh my God. I think it's just because we're afraid. Game over, you know, because we're in a matrix and this is a simulation. I'm just saying, look it up.
Was that slurpy noise like necessary?
That is oh, you can't see me, it's not filmed. Do you ever think you look like a man?
Sometimes I feel like I look like an old, like, chubby man.
Yeah, same. Sometimes feel like I look like a man just because of my nose, but other times I really don't feel like I look like a man. I guess I don't think I look like a man. I think I just look like a nerdy girl.
So yeah, I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, man, I'm not that cute as a girl. Maybe I would have been a better dude.
Really?
Yeah. Then I like slicked my hair back, and I was like, I'm just kind of unfortunate looking. I remember I was like, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember doing that. And then I was like, I don't know, like 11 or 12 when I discovered eyeliner. And then I realized that I'm a badass bitch and have worn eyeliner ever since. So that's my story about eyeliner.
I was very against makeup, like, and I remember I didn't really ever even wear it until I went to Norway, and my friends all wore eyeliner, and I remember I put eyeliner on, and I feel like women are almost offended when you don't wear makeup sometimes, depending on the woman, and I felt like all of my friends were kind of like, you should wear it, like, what do you think, you're better than us, like, kind of thing, and I was like, no, I just like think it's fake. Like I just always thought makeup was fake and it wasn't me, and I just always really wanted to be myself. And so when I put eyeliner on for the first time, I remember looking at myself, and this was under eyeliner, right? Like just on the waterline. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and thinking like, damn, I look great. And then I said to Yonika, because she was the one who like had me, and I think Veronica too. It was like we were in a room together or whatever, and they were like, I was like, do you think I look better with this? And they're like, yes. And I was like, maybe I should wear this more often. They're like, you should wear it every day. And I was like, fuck. And then I never wore it again until like I was 23. And that's when I started wearing makeup. But looking back, whenever I would like go somewhere and be like, oh, I should put makeup on, all I do is put like eyeliner on, right? That's it. Maybe mascara. It brings my eyes down. Like I had no idea what I was doing with makeup. And I feel like a lot of women really don't know how to do makeup. And so they'll just put something on and they'll be like, wow, I look different. This is great. When really a lot of times women put on makeup where it makes their faces look worse, in my opinion. I think sometimes I have like an issue because I think I am not self-conscious. Like I've never really had a problem with how I look. And I know I've said that multiple times on the podcast, but I feel like I've questioned how I look because my reaction of other people is that I'm not like that good looking. And so it confuses. Like I have an inflated sense of like confidence or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm serious though, because sometimes I'm like, wait, but I'm so cute. I'm like so funny. Like, look at these lips. Like, I'm just like, what do you mean? I'm so confused.
Wait, so you're saying that like you like the way you look?
Yes.
And you are surprised when other people don't agree with you on me? Yeah. Dude, I feel the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
It's called being confident. It's called being confident. That's what
it's like overly confident. Like, I know. You're right, though. Like, but it's confusing because, I wanted to talk about this. Thank you. Okay, now that we brought this up.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you feel the same way because I'm like, but I'm so beautiful. Like, I don't can understand. Yeah, look at my ethnic nose. I'm all like, I look like fucking Cleopatra, you know?
Coming at ya.
Yeah. Except for with better teeth. Because hers were probably rotting out of her face. Because back then they didn't have a lot of dental hygiene.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I was at Walmart and I remember being in my car trying to find a fucking parking spot. And then this guy was also in a car. And then he was just like staring at me. And I was like, but like, oh, who's that kind of shit? Mm-hmm. And I get rageful. And I know I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it every time it happens because it pisses me the fuck off. Because I'm just like, oh, like, you think I'm cute right now. But like, if you were to see my wheels, you would be like, oh my God, ew. What is that thing? You know?
It's a witch! Go on.
Ah, yeah. she's sitting and moving at the same time. And then I was in Walmart. And then I had another same reaction of like, oh, she's cute. And then like, oh my God. But he could see my wheelchair. So then he got like horrified immediately. It was like people see my face. And then they're like, oh. And then they're like, oh. And it's like so fucking annoying. And whenever this happens and I see someone looking at me, because what they'll do is like, I will catch them looking at me. They don't see me seeing them. You know what I mean? And then, they'll feel ashamed of like whatever the fuck they thought in the first place. And then they'll give me like a cripple smile where they go, oh, so sorry that you're, you know, and then I immediately look at them and I fucking roll my eyes or I give them the dirtiest fucking look because I'm like, fuck you dumb piece of shit. Die. Literally, this whole podcast has just been me yelling.
I like it. Okay. Continue.
Whatever. So, anyways, I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm like, don't look at me in the first place. Don't fucking look at me. Why are you? What are you? Because it's like, it's so much ableism in like one moment. It like represents so much. I don't know. What is your take on that? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get it. Like, describing? People like, they're like, oh, all right.